Right, Duncan, 2 appearances now on your trial, Cheltenham Town. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. To be really honest, obviously the standards high. It's more physical, faster pace. But yeah, it's brilliant so far. I mean, hell of a start last night against Wolves. Coming on against those two centre halves was a bit of an experience. But yeah, I've got to be honest. As far as game time's gone, I've loved every minute of it so far.
Yeah, and what was the first week like with the fitness work and that sort of thing? Because I know you've done well in the fitness tests.
Yeah, it was good. I actually sort of surprised myself as well. I think with some of that, I think half of it is just determination of just wanting to be a part of this. But yeah, as far as the fitness stuff goes, that was good fun. It was tough, because it's not, the weather. Some of the days was hot and there was lots of running. But as to be expected, it's pre-season at a pro club, so I didn't come in thinking it was going to be an easy ride.
Yeah. So first game was against Wolves, and second game up front with Jamie Curison, which you probably weren't expecting last week, were you?
No, absolutely. I mean, Kira only came back down at the end of the first week, didn't he? Popped down, and I'd heard of him, but I'd never met him before. So yeah, it was nice. It was a shame that a couple of the things that we tried didn't come off today. But again, I think it's as with any strike partnership. I think whoever you are, you've got to give it time and stuff and things like that. But yeah, it was a real pleasure playing up front with him.
Yeah, you did come into football quite late, didn't you? Relatively late.
Yeah.
But what do you think are the main differences between the standards you were playing at last season with Shortwood and I know it was against Evesham today, but just Football League Club and League Two standard?
It's a lot more patient because you've got the centre midfielders like we've got at the club that you can give the ball to. They will look after it. They've got the footballing experience and the mentality and the intelligence to be able to just keep the ball when it's needed, play out from the back with the confidence, especially on a pitch like Wadden Road yesterday was absolutely stunning. So just to be able to actually play out on that sort of ground. Whereas I think sort of within, say, the Southern League, there is a lot of sort of, if you do get it out, a lot of balls on the line into the channels, or sort of hitting me as a target man, which I think is something that I do have to get used to because you realise that there are a lot of other players on the field that are all capable of doing a job, and everyone just ends up trusting each other with the ball and move forward that way.
Yeah, can you just tell me a bit about how it first came about the trial? Because you obviously did well for Shortwood, scored nearly 40 goals didn't you last season?
Yeah.
When did you actually get the call to say come along for pre-season?
It was on the 4th of June. Not that it's a memorable date for me now, but yeah, I got a phone call from Mark that just said in fact it was a voicemail. I just said, can you get back in touch with me, please? I just want to have a chat with you. I was actually driving. I was working up in Birmingham at the time, and I was driving back, and he said if you can do it within the next sort of 20 minutes, that would be wonderful. So I was trying to drive back from where I was working to the hotel I was staying in, and the traffic was really bad, and I was sort of getting really nervous and sort of shaking and all sorts of stuff. And eventually I just rang him from the car, and we just had a chat, and he said, yeah, 1st of July, come in, give me a call in a couple of weeks, and we'll sort some stuff out.
Yeah. So you're enjoying it so far, and hope to play a part against Bristol Rovers Tuesday and then Leamington Friday. Hope to get some more game time.
Yeah, absolutely. I generally think that I've sort of barely scratched the surface of and in my own mind of what I'm capable of at the moment. Just a case of getting used to the style of play and actually I think as much as anything just getting my confidence up to where I was say the end of last season. I don't think it'll take long. I have faith in my own abilities. Otherwise I would never have come here. I wouldn't have come here if I ever thought it would be something that I'd embarrass myself or anything like that. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and I hope that so far from what they've seen they're happy with it.
Yeah, obviously the dream is to be a professional footballer,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
if you just aim to play as high a standard as you can next season, whether it's at League Two, Cheltenham or someone else higher up the pyramid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to. I'd love to be a full-time pro. It would be the first time for me ever. And I mean, like you said, it's come along quite quickly for me. Yeah, but I'd love Cheltenham. I mean, I grew up just outside of Cirencester in Fairford. I love the area. I've always have, and it was a club that when it was being spoken about when I was at Hartbury and that there were connections to Cheltenham, it always seemed sort of a dream club that was out of my reach. And then one season in the English League, and now all of a sudden here I am.
Yeah. which players were you with at Hartbury? Because obviously there's a lot of good players coming through there, including one who's playing at the World Cup, isn't there, Warry? So
Yeah,
were there
Warry's,
some other good players in your age that
Yeah,
were
I mean,
playing a good standard now?
James Baldwin is out playing Östersunds in Sweden at the moment, so he moved out there in January. I'm not. In fact, some of the other boys, I'm not entirely sure what they're doing, but someone like Jake Parrott as well, who played with James at the British Uni Games the World Uni Games, sorry, in Russia. I mean, so, you know, some of them I totally believe could have been playing higher standards, and I think it's a case of, you know, them getting the opportunity as much as it is for a lot of lower league players. And I really think there is a lot of talent in these leagues, and it's just a case of them getting noticed, I think.
Yeah, was it at Hartbury where it all started for you then, really, in terms of taking football
Absolutely,
seriously?
yeah, it really was. I mean, it was the first place where, sort of under the tutelage of Steve Guinan from Kidderminster and Tom Radcliffe, who is the director of football there, that I really sort of actually got some coaching, you know, and you know, it was the sort of thing where I was playing before. I was almost, it was through work that I was playing at the time, and the work that I was in almost forced me to stay at the club. And then when I went to Hartbury and realised I could actually compete at the same level as a lot of ex-pros. I mean, half the students there, most of the football team had all been pros when they were younger, and to be starting for the first team for the entire season and just scoring, really did sort of actually wake sort of the reality up to me that I may have been capable of doing something a bit more.
Yeah, 39 goals was it, I think, in League Cup for Shortwood last season, including the memorable FA Cup run.
Yeah.
So what was that like being a part of? Because it like you said, it just sort of came out of nowhere, didn't it?
It really did, yeah. I mean, it didn't really occur to me at the time what a big deal it was. I mean, because I've been playing in the Welsh League, you know, we'd had a League Cup and a Welsh Cup, and that was it. And if you played someone from a league above you, the standard is so different down there that chances are you get beaten, and you never really thought much more of it. Whereas we just seemed to get through round after round after round. And it got to the stage that we started to get some of the attention and stuff like that, and obviously I'd scored in every round. I was winning the games for the teams. The adoration was something that I'd never experienced really before, and well, it was pretty enjoyable to be fair. So it was just a case of making the most of it at the time, just keep ploughing on, and then I mean, I was actually banned for the first Aldershot game, free, never a yellow card, but it was that. But yeah, so so I missed it, and then when Sean scored the goal in the 90th minute, it was almost like there's something meant to happen here, you know. And when we went down to their place, again, I was actually really ill that night, so I was feeling a bit sort of, oh, please don't let this get me down for how fine my performance was. And then got the opportunity with the penalty, and just thought to myself, there's no way you're missing this. You know, this opportunity doesn't happen very often. And then Manny slotted one from 25 yards, and it was unbelievable. And one of the most flattering things was the Aldershot fans staying afterwards to clap us off the field. It was, and I think it's moments like that football's about. You know, same as Port Vale giving us an ovation, a ton of ovation as we were leaving. It was just, you know, it'll stay with me for the rest of my life at the moment.